Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's Quinton here and welcome to tutorial number 22, and in this tutorial I am going to show you guys how to style elements on your web page using an ID. Okay, now if you guys watched the previous tutorial, then you know that in that tutorial I spoke to you guys about classes, and if you guys didn't watch that tutorial, then I'm going to make a few references to that video now. But basically the difference between a class and an ID is that they work pretty much the same, but an ID has to be unique to each element. So in other words, let's say you wanted a lot of elements on your page to look the same, so you had like 50 elements or 10 elements on your web page that you wanted to all look the same. Then you need to go ahead and use a class to style those elements. But if you only have one element that you want to style, then it's okay to use an ID. Reason for that is because IDs have to be unique to each element. It'll probably work if you try use two elements with the same ID with CSS, but if you ever try and use two elements with the same ID and then want to add JavaScript to the page later and select that element by ID, you're going to confuse the heck out of JavaScript basically. So just don't use two elements with the same ID. As soon as you need two elements that have to have the same ID, you should probably be styling using a class. Just putting that out there. And I know I actually rambled on for quite a long time, but now let's go ahead and actually put some elements on our page that we can style. So I'm going to go ahead and actually create 3 different paragraphs over here. So I'm just going to place my cursor right before those paragraph tags and push Ctrl D, and that will duplicate the paragraphs. Okay, so our first paragraph can just say I am blue, and straight out of the previous tutorial we are going to turn this paragraph blue. The second paragraph, I guess, can say the same thing we did in the previous tutorial, which was just like, oh boy, I wish I were blue, or red actually, because we want to turn this one a different color to that one. So, oh boy, I wish I were red. And then the last one can say, if it's yellow, let it mellow. And that's actually kind of disgusting, but yeah, I've heard people say that before. It's kind of catchy. Okay, so basically what I want to do in this tutorial is obviously turn this paragraph blue, this paragraph red, and that paragraph yellow. Now to do that I'm gonna use an ID. So I don't know why I keep going to my CSS sheet. I don't want to go there yet. I'm gonna use an ID, so I'm going to go ahead and add that in as an attribute in my first paragraph. So I'm going to give this an ID of blue, and the second one will give an ID of red, and the third paragraph we can give an ID of yellow. Okay, and now all we have to do is go over to CSS and select these paragraphs by their actual ID. And the reason, or the way you do that is you basically have to tell CSS, okay, listen up, I want to style using an ID. And the way you do that is obviously by just using this little hashtag. I don't know why I said obviously, because it's not obvious. I'm showing you guys this for a reason. Okay, so basically go ahead and use this hashtag, and then go ahead and type in your ID name. So my first ID is blue, so I'm going to go ahead and put in blue over here, and now I can style my first paragraph. And I think what I'm going to do is just change the color to blue, and then we'll go ahead and style the red ID, so hashtag red, and that'll change the red ID. So we'll go ahead and say color, easy on the caps lock over there, color red, and then the last one can be, well, we've got to select the ID of yellow, and we'll go ahead and change this color to yellow, but I'm going to give it a background color of black, just so that we can actually see it, because yesterday, or in the previous tutorial, you guys couldn't actually see the yellow text. So let's go ahead now and run this in Firefox, and as you can see, I've now been able to use these IDs over here to actually style all the paragraphs. So we've got our first paragraph being blue, the second one being red, and the last one being yellow with a black background. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have for you guys in this video, and I hope you guys go ahead and start styling all your websites very nicely using the ID and class attributes. Just remember though, if you're going to style more than one element to look the same, go ahead and use a class, but if there's only one element, then go ahead and you can use an ID, and that'll work just fine. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Please feel free to like or comment on the video. It's really going to help my channel grow, and I will see you guys next time.